Until the 1st of February, I'm excited to be partnering with HelloFresh UK. Get money off fresh meal kits delivered to your door by using the discount link or the checkout code in the description below. Get 50% off your first box and 35% off the following 3, as well as 3 free gifts. If you want to see more from HelloFresh UK, then check out my social medias where I've been sharing my meals the last few weeks. And what's best, if you sign up, you help support the channel and you can cancel at any time. Well, we look a completely different side this season with Ipswich Town. We've got deadline day on the way, and if our director of football can give us another gem somewhere, we might be ready for an almighty push for the playoffs. But either way, we've got an exciting side, we've got an entertaining side, and we've got a side that I'm very much enjoying managing. Hello and welcome along to part 60 of this FM23 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. We're like a different team, we are brilliant to watch, and after showing our attacking prowess in the first game of the season last time out, we have since shown our defensive resilience too. We are top of the league after 3 games played with 9 points, albeit alongside 4 other sides. And today we face Sunderland at home, who are injury hit and in mid-table, before transfer deadline day ahead of the international break. So hopefully you're looking forward to all of that. If you are, please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me very quickly take you through what's happened transfer-wise since the last episode, and then we'll go and look at the couple of results and get into the big game against Sunderland, because at the moment, I'm feeling very confident about our team. Let's go and have a look at the transfer centre. One player potentially going out on loan. That's because he's a youngster who's nowhere near first team level. In terms of ins and outs since you were here, I'm pretty sure Jimmy Campbell was being discussed but hadn't yet arrived at the club. He did eventually come in. He's played a couple of games already. He's a good young winger, can cover centre mid. He's got bundles of quality. So the director of football has had a good window now regardless. I just don't know if he's going to do anything on deadline day. In terms of outs, it was just one loan player to Dover. Again, nothing spectacular, but he's allowing some of these youngsters to go and get football, which is great. So he's keeping the club moving and ticking over. In terms of results, though, it's been one hell of a start to the season. You were with me for that 6-2 win at home to Hull, and a lot of you were fair in the comments. You said, yes, good signings, yes, great start, but judge it when you've played a couple of good teams. Well, now I'm going to start judging it, people, because this is not just a dream start. We had a good start last season, but this feels different. This feels dominant. We played against Hull and won 6-2. You saw that. We beat Leyton Orient 2-1 in the cup with a very rotated side. I know it looks close, but we battered them. Alex Mowat scored a goal. Marlon Kirbishley popped up with the winner. I promoted him to the first team after signing, and so far in that one appearance, he's done all right. We then beat Reading by 1-0. George Hurst with a second half goal in that one, and a 3-0 win against rivals Norwich. George Hurst scoring on the stroke of half-time before Ewan Simpson and Dennis Adeniran making it a very comfortable day. If nothing else happens this season, that's going to make me popular with the Ipswich fans. But it's all about the Sunderland match now. The dynamics look good, the squad is fit, the squad is confident, everyone's pretty much in shape now. So let's close down Taylor Richards, a player we managed in last year's Brighton save, I think. And we'll go and pick our team for today. 29,000 at Portman Road. We know what our first 11 is. It's a great position to be in. When everyone is fit, this is our team. We've got a very strong bench. We've got a very strong outside of the bench squad. And it is basically a 26, 27 man team now. And we've got to try and keep everyone happy. As a couple, I look at like a Harry Toffolo. I wouldn't be gutted if he left the club. I look at Alex Mowat now even, or Akinola. We could probably afford to lose one of those. But I don't really want to complain while we've got a squad this strong. It does mean I don't think there'll be much coming in on deadline day, but we'll find that out in a moment. For now, our squad for today is Daniel Grimshaw in goal, Zach Swanson and Leif Davis the fullbacks, with Edmondson and Wolfenden as centre-half. You got Harper and Adeniran in the middle, Simpson ahead of them playing brilliantly as the number 10, and then Ferdinand off the right, Howard off the left, and George Hurst starting to find form up front. Ipswich v Sunderland, the new style is working. But are we going to have our first blip in the road? It's got to come sooner or later. But will it be Sunderland that deal that blow for us? Let's go and find out. Well, here we go then. And it is a very familiar looking Sunderland team, actually. They've got Jed Spence at right back, Leon King, the Rangers youngster centre-half, looking into midfield for Harrison Reed, Ronaldo Vieira, Taylor Richards, we mentioned from that Brighton save in FM22. Samuel Edozie is part of my Southampton Youth Academy challenge off camera. That's a save I'm having a bit of fun with away from YouTube this year. You can find those on the blog post though if you want updates. And at the moment, I am really pleased with how we're getting on. But this is arguably one of our toughest tests of the season. It is maybe a little bit of a false hope that we've had 3 out of 4 games at home now. The only away game was probably our trickiest, a 1-0 win at Reading, as Davis puts the early corner in. Hurst is up. Simpson heads in. Oh, we mentioned about the height. We talked about the height of this team. The physicality it's got is not just a good side. It's got quality and it's got physicality. And at the moment, it is delivering on all fronts. What on earth is going on with the touchline tablet? There we go. 14 minutes gone. We're 1-0 up. We're looking great. And we've got the ball again with Harper, who plays left to Howard. Been a natural width in a team that generally plays narrow. Takes on his man. Scored a hat-trick on the opening day. And should have had an assist there because George Hurst, you are not going to get an easier chance than that. What a miss from the big target man. And it stays 1-0, but it should have been 2. And look at the way we're playing again. Harper loses it there. Hurst fights back. Vieira carries it forward. Are we going to concede immediately after me talking us up? Vega gets to the byline. Chance to cross to the back post. Up goes Spence. In the first time, hits the post. Howard clears away to Vieira. Back in the box to Gore. Out to Harper. Vieira eventually blazes over. We get away with that one. We're 1-0 up. But generally, the style of play, the possession, the quality on the ball is chalk and cheese to what we saw last year, as Ferdinand gives it to Simpson, who again robbed in possession. Maybe I've spoken too soon. Sunderland definitely look better than most of our opponents this year, as Spence gets to the byline. Cuts it back to Richards. Good save. Grimshaw at his very best there. Not only did he save it, he parried it away from the danger so it didn't go into the path of the follow-up man. Gore puts the corner kick in swinging delivery. Reed is up, Hurst heads away, and it's back out to Gore again. Great turn. Grimshaw there to save. 1-0, but we're living a bit dangerously. As Grimshaw's got a goal kick, long ball downfield. Simpson's up, flicks on for Hurst, who won't make it. Maybe that little bit of pace that's missing up front. Still the one thing that maybe is a little bit short in our team. As King gets the ball into Reed, wide to Spence. He's got Howard to take on, plays short to Gore. He's looked a really good player so far here. Carries it down the right, lovely ball in left-footed. Farley turns his man, the shot's blocked. Grimshaw comes and claims it. But Gore is giving us nightmares out there. I've no doubt he's a superstar. It's a long ball forward towards Howard. Hurst goes up. Headed away as far as Davis. 5'5", but wins it in the air. Howard back to him again. Davis doesn't go over halfway. Goes back to Edmondson. That's a short ball. Intercepted by Edozie. I know the quality he's got. Gets into the box. Crosses blocked by Wolfenden. Second one into Farley. And that is the risk at playing out from the back. The possession game, Edmondson didn't look. He played it straight into the path of the winger. Edozie did the rest to set it up for Farley. It's 1-1 on a stroke of half time. They thoroughly deserve it too. And we're back with a throw on the right-hand side, which Simpson flicks on for Adeniran. He goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Grimshaw. Not sure that was entirely necessary, but he plays out to Howard, who brings down on his chest for Davis. Takes his man on the left. He's got acres of space to run into. Leave Davis going all the way here. Gets to the byline. Chance to cut back. Plays for Howard. Crossing to Simpson. Down for Harper and Ferdinand. He goes back 50 yards. What are you doing? Wolfenden gives it to Swanson. Just play the short ball. They're trying to do the Hollywood stuff. Ferdinand into Hurst. I'm not complaining now, but I think that's offside. The original ball through was. Hurst scores it well. Ferdinand set it up, but it's not going to count. 1-1 at half-time. Good game between two very good sides. Sunderland without doubt the best we've played this year. As Grimshaw will take this one. Big ball over the top still towards Simpson. Flicks on for Hurst. Look at the height up there. It makes such a difference because for all the good football we play, we can still take a goal kick, flick it on and create a chance. And that is the lovely balance we've got in this side. So we're playing short football in open play, long ball from the goal kicks, and we're a threat from set pieces. It's a good combination. As Davis one headed away this time, Farley will bring it clear. 1-1 at the break, a really good game of football. And again, for you guys that were complaining last season, at least you're watching entertainment. That is all you can ask for. Let's get through to the second half, give the fans their money's worth. I think they're getting that already, lads, to be fair. As Gore's got a corner kick. Into the back post. Up goes Simpson. Heads up more than away that time. Howard does hoof it clear. Ferdinand will chase it wide. Flick down for Howard. He's got options in support, tries to take on Reed, doesn't get round him. Gore plays the through ball, defence is all over the shop, it's cleared by Wolfenden. Adozi on the left, back to Vieira. Acres of space to run into. Does someone want to close down? Grimshaw palms it into his own net. Had a lot of power on the strike, but he probably should have saved it. 2-1 Sunderland. It might be the first blip in the road. It was a dream start to the season. Are we going to have the same faltering as we had last year? It's starting to look like it. It's an hour gone. We've got a free kick on the right with Leif Davis. Hurst off the post. It's bobbling around all over the place. And we aren't able to take advantage. We'll make subs in a moment. But this has been a really even game. And a draw would be a fair result if we can nick one. As Gore goes back to King and Vieira. And Spence again. Lovely stuff from him down the right-hand side. Gets the cross into the box. Edmondson clears. Hurst picks it up for Simpson. He plays through to Hurst. He's one-on-one. He has to score. He simply has to. And it takes a big deflection, but it ends up in the back of the net. It is 2-2. Ipswich and Sunderland are flying. And now we're starting to look like a very good side. What a performance. What a game between these two. And now we've got a set piece with Leif Davis into the back post. Headed away only as far as Adeniran in midfield. He finds Edmondson and Wolfenden who are on their way back. Nice football wide to Howard. Through ball to Hurst again. Is he onside? Because he scored well. It's a good finish and it's going to count. Ipswich Town turn it around. I'm jumping out of my seat, which is why you're hearing background noise. But it's 3-2. We have shown it again. We have got bundles of attacking talent. There's the entertainment. You didn't have it last year, but I am making up for lost time. What a performance. What a game. Let's go and make some changes. There's tired legs in here. I'm going to bring on Jack Johnston for the tired Hurst up front because he actually gives us a little bit more pace running in behind. I'm going to take on Dougie Miller for Simpson, a bit more of the creative playmaker type. Harper in midfield will be replaced by either Mola or Sykes. I'm going to go for Sykes, I think. He'll be the deep line playmaker in there. And then on the right, Ferdinand will come off. Have we got any options? I don't think so. So it's going to be a tired Howard off on the left. Campbell will come on for him. He's another great new signing. Play a bit more as an inverted winger. Again, more pace in behind. And then we'll leave the last sub just in case of injury, illness, or anything else. We need to make a tactical change. We've got it. 3-2 Ipswich. It has been a joy to watch this football match. I've absolutely loved it as a neutral. Not so much defensively as the Ipswich manager. Though Wolfenden does well to head that away to Ferdinand. He takes on his man. Sunderland have thrown men forward. And look at the counter we had on. It's been scuppered a bit because Ferdinand's gone down injured. But it still works its way into Adeniran. It's a brilliant take on from Swanson. It's a brilliant advantage from the referee. I'm not sure what happened to Ferdinand. He pulled up there. That's probably a hamstring or a calf or something. He's going to be replaced by... We've not really got anyone that can play out there. Sykes. Then we'll bring on Mola in centre midfield. He'll switch sides with Adeniran. There we go. Problem solved. Mark Sykes to the right. Don't let that injury be bad. Well, into stoppage time. It's finally calmed down this game. We wanted an entertaining one in case of a quiet deadline day. But crucially, the 100% record continues. It is a fabulous performance. It's a great result. I am loving managing this team. And I know I got criticism last year. But look at Arteta's Arsenal. Look at a lot of those sides. You build a solid defensive base the first year. Then you evolve to the next level. The football recruitment team have allowed us to do that. They've brought in good attacking players in fairness. And now we are one of two sides after 4 games that have got a perfect record at the top of the championship. Let's go and get ahead to deadline day after looking at Ferdinand's injury. And hopefully then we'll get one more gem to add to the squad. Gary Probert, it's back over to you. Well, 4 weeks for Ferdinand isn't great. But to be fair, the first 2 of those are an international break with just a cup tie. He'll probably miss the next 3 or 4 games, but should be back for the home games at the end of September. And the good thing is, last year, when we got Ferdinand injured, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought we lost all our attacking threat. When he got injured at the end of last season and nearer the beginning, we didn't win a game. Whereas now, we have got a real depth in our squad. We've got quality in lots of positions. Maybe not so much on the right wing, ironically, but there is quality in attack, and I trust there to be goals and assists from other sources. We've got deadline day on Monday. That's what we're going to next. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, here we go then. It's a quiet championship deadline day expected. And if we're to believe media reports, we're only going to need to take action if players leave the club. I mean, we shouldn't believe them because they're always wrong. but they're saying that QPR are linked with Leif Davis and Huddersfield with Karen Samuels. But as we said before the first match, I'm not too worried if we lose a couple of squad players. What I want to see is whether we get anyone else in, and more importantly, if that first 11 stays together. So let's go and take part in deadline day. The only link in is a young striker called Paul Barr. An offer went in yesterday for him from Gary Probert. He's one for the future. He's got decent potential. And to be fair, he's not the worst. But his personality, again, is what lets him down. So I'm not expecting much on the ins. I'd really like to keep hold of Leif Davis. Karen Samuels, I can take it or leave it. Well, with 10 hours to go, it's been a very quiet start to the day, but there is an interesting offer, as you can see. Gary Probert is back to report that Arsenal are in offer for Joe Woolacott, our backup keeper. I'm not going to reject it if he goes, if we can then get one for cheaper. But it does leave us with only one keeper if he does go. I'd rather him than Grimshaw though, which was the link last window. So let's see what the offer is and whether it's been accepted. It's rejected. It's less than 100 grand, which is pathetic really. But Joe Woolacott is not a great goalkeeper. Yes, he's been a Ghanaian international. He's solid, but he's very much a number 2 for us. So if Arsenal want him as a 3, then I would encourage you to accept it, Gary. Get a replacement in instead. You can't be that busy today. There's not a huge amount to do. Do you have confidence in him to get the job done? I believe in everyone who works for this club. Not saying I believe in him, saying I believe in the club. 10 hours left. Looks like it's going to be very quiet. Just an hour later, and it might not be the addition, the big name, the first team signing we were all hoping for, but it is an addition nonetheless. And Bart is joining the under-21s, 275 quid a week, no fee. And if he can benefit a little bit from a mentoring group, then he has got the core credentials to be all right. So maybe someone we could make a little profit on. But a really good player, a good youngster into the club. I can understand why that one's been done. So we're going to ask Edmondson to welcome him. What role do we think best suits the player? He's not really a left winger. He's not really a 10. So we are going to have to do him as a striker there. Not sure he can be the target man we want. How tall was he again? 5'10". So we'll probably train him as an advanced forward. And hopefully he reaches his potential, because then we'll make some money. 3 hours remaining in the window. It does not look like there's anybody coming into the football club, but this one is an interesting one to me. It's our former club Bromley, who we will have a look at as part of this, because I know I forgot to do it last episode. They've come in for Kirbishley, who I promoted for the first team, but it looks like he's more of a lone under-21 option in the eyes of the director of football. So will he agree to help out our former club? Because the standard of player he is, he certainly would help them. Yep, he's accepted it. 80% of the wages, a slight fee as well. For League 2 level, he'll be brilliant. But are they still League 2 level? Let's go and have a little look at our former club. As it's a quiet day, it's a real chance for us to do so. Holy smokes! Bromley are in League 1. They got promoted back to back. And they got promoted again without us. So we made the National League look hard work to the final day. And then they've gone and got promoted again the very next season. I did not expect that. League 1 football will definitely help. Let's have a look at what has gone on at Bromley, because they've gone up yet again. And for the first time, a club has got better without us. It does look like they did it via the playoffs. They finished 7th and then managed to sneak it. So they did do a bit of a sneak last-minute job like we did. But you look at those players down there, Thomas Hill, James Hilson. You've got Nicky Colkett as skipper. They were all there under our tenureship. So they're still very good players, and they've still managed to go to the next level. Add to that, they've still got Seb Raven. Who else? A Song still there. Paul McIntyre on the bench. Roman Burrell, Charlie Finney. It's very much the core of the side we had that's taken them up. And they deserve an awful lot of credit for going to the next level. I noticed that Andy Riley's gone. He was one of the young stars. Should we see what sort of fees they got for them? This is the one I mentioned earlier in the summer. 550 grand from Masai Cheek, who was nowhere near the level for us. The year before that, they managed to get in a bit of money for Nick Freeman. 575 grand from Queen's Park as Andy Riley makes the move to Scotland. He seems to have declined a little bit since we went. Harvey Greenslade went for a small fee as well. And just after we left, there was nothing else. But fair play to Bromley. They have got promoted back to back. And as we carried them to the National League title, they managed to go up again last year. So big credit to them. They're now trying to add Marlon Kirbishley, who, very similar type of player to Andy Riley. We look at them in League 1, he'll help them stay up. So we're helping our former club. As much as I like to keep him, he's not a pivotal part of our plan. So I can accept that one. 3 hours to go. Marlon Kirbishley obviously liked the club too, because it's not even taken him an hour to make the decision. We've done enough, the squad is improved, and I'm happy. So if we leave it at that, no complaints from me. Let's see if anyone else leaves. Well, that was that. The end of deadline day is here, and while it wasn't a very busy day, while it was a little underwhelming as an occasion, the window certainly was not. I know we missed out on that striker who would have been an absolute gem. I know we missed out on that midfielder from Crewe. But the players that have come in compared to the players that have gone out, overall I can't complain. By a director of football standards, this was stunning. Let's have a quick confirmation of the wage expenditure. We're in 18th place in the league. I'm aiming for the top half at least this year. And the transfer window roundup, 21 players out, a lot of them on loan. Norwich spending 60 million in the Championship. That is absolutely insane. Let's go and have a look at our transfer window as a whole, just to remind you. Joe Woolacott did stay in the end. There were no other offers after that first one from Arsenal. So at the start of last summer, no players going in. A couple did go out. Brandon Cooper went to the MLS before the end of the season. Jarrett Holtman, he got him largely off the wage bill. We only had to pay a third of it in the end. Going further down, we got a fee for a player. The likes of Kirbishley, Bahia, and a few others went out on loan that are of decent quality. Georgie Boyle, one of the signings in that category too. And Joe Miley, we got a good loan fee for. In terms of the ins, Jack Johnston's great, Ewan Simpson's great, and Adam Howard scored a hat-trick on his debut. And at the moment, the rest of them are plugging gaps in the squad. Jimmy Campbell and Dougie Miller, really clever loan additions. And for those youngsters that have gone out on loan, perhaps it will be a time for them to improve and replace those guys when they come back. Of course, we have got one overarching worry looking forward now, though. We go to the medical centre. Paul Ferdinand got injured in that game against Sunderland. Last season, both times he was out and the time he was out of form, we had a disastrous spell. We just couldn't win without him. We didn't have a goal threat. We were worse defensively. Everything was wrong. However, this time, I believe the squad is a lot stronger. We've still not got a perfect replacement on the right-hand side, but Mark Sykes, who was first choice last year, he could slot in. We've got Ben Woodburn, who could go over as a Ramdeuter. We could move Hurst over with Jack Johnston up front. Or we could even go for a youngster like Mark Hitchin, who did all right towards the end of last year. Overall, it's a pretty big squad. It is 25 man in total, so perhaps a few that might be unhappy later in the year. But a lot of those have accepted squad roles and fringe roles. So it's probably just about playing them in the cups. So let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're going to be back. Can we keep that perfect run going? Well, that's going to be tricky now. We've got Tottenham in the League Cup next week. We've got 3 successive away games after that. Then we've got Derby and Stoke at home, where hopefully Ferdinand will be fit. But we're not going to come back for any of that. We're going to get to and through the next international break, and we will come back for the first 2 games after. Leeds away, always favourites for promotion. West Brom had a really disappointing time last year. So those are the 2 I want to show. Can we beat the favourites with half of the Dream 11? And can we push on towards the playoffs? I know we've probably got a squad that's better than last year. The style's exciting. I do fear we will be bad defensively when we go on a bad run. But if we can get this right, there is no reason we can't be in that top half mix, and maybe with an outside chance of the playoffs too. So if you're looking forward to finding out if we can do it, you did enjoy that thrilling game against Sunderland and the one loan out on deadline day, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the transfer window as a whole and what you thought of that performance against Sunderland. You certainly can't complain about a lack of entertainment now, because we are looking at an aggressive side, we're playing a lot of good football, and even when we're not taking our chances, we are opening teams up. So hopefully it'll be a more entertaining year to watch. If you want to stay up to date and find out if it is, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Daily videos from 2 long-term stories, including tomorrow, a huge episode from our Build a Nation save. We've got our first European match. We've got a summer transfer special. It is one not to miss, I assure you of that. If you've missed any of the playlists so far, you can find it up in the eye above. It's also there with the other channels from Twitch, the Football Podcast, and the Food Channel too. Finally, it is the last couple of days of our sponsor Hello Fresh time. You've got 2 days to get it done. You can find the link in the eye above and details in the description. But thank you very much for watching. Your huge support as always. I'll put the thrilling end to last season in the Build a Nation above my head now. And I'll see you back here next time to see if we can continue this perfect start.